Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Cyber Preserve, and today's session is on Introduction to Pen Testing. Let's go forward. This is my brief introduction about my background and what I do. Let's proceed with the starting of the first slide. So, what is penetration testing? In ethical hacking environment, the most common term that often used is a pen tester. Pen testers are the penetration tester that has permission to hack a system by owner. What does that mean? That means is a penetration tester is an employee of a particular organization or a contractual person who is assigned by an organization to perform hacking into their system or application by their permission. Next, penetration testing is the process of hacking a system with the permission from the owner of that system to evaluate security, hack value, target of evaluation, exploits, zero-day attack, and other components. So, basically, the major aim of penetration testing is to protect our data, our applications, our systems from any outside attacks. So in order to prevent that, we hire penetration testers like in-house penetration testers, or we hire someone from outside as contractors to work on our applications and system, to hack our application systems as an ethical hacker, and as a result provide the details to the organization about the application vulnerabilities. What are the vulnerabilities to which particular application on which they have performed penetration testing? What type of vulnerabilities and flaws these applications have? So in order to protect your applications, or in order to protect applications and systems, organization nowadays hire penetration testers, and their role is to do end-to-end hacking of the system or application they have been assigned to. Let's go forward. So why penetration testing? What are the needs? So this is what we discussed in the slide before, in the before slide also, where I mentioned what is the meaning of penetration testing. So why do organizations nowadays require pen testers? Because everyone around us across the globe has gone over the net. Everybody is virtual. We all have digital identities. All organizations have some kind of database or some kind of um, employee application system where employees access their data, which is like very generic. Not only that, from their employees to their clients and to what not, the data in the form of big data is all over the internet in all forms. So in order to protect data, we hire penetration testers in an organization to protect our applications, to protect our systems from hackers. So these are some of the few important points which are kept in mind and which are the reasons that we need penetration testers. So number one is to identify threat and vulnerabilities to organizational assets, as mentioned, to provide a comprehensive assessment of policies, procedure, design, and architect. What does that mean? For example, a software product went through a SDLC life cycle, software development life cycle. So what a penetration tester does is he or she not only test for a vulnerability or flaw or security loophole in an application or system or asset, he also does an assessment of all the policies and procedures. Whatever was mentioned in the design and architecture was followed or not. Are we missing something? Are we missing some kind of functioning? So it's not just about finding flaws and security vulnerabilities, it's also about finding what we have missed. Next, to set remediation actions to secure them before they are used by a hacker to breach security. So this is the 101 of penetration tester. Why do we hire penetration testers? So we want to know the vulnerabilities of our system even before the hackers get to know and they attack our system. See, so it's like a proactive approach of protecting your applications and systems from hackers. To identify what an attacker can access to steal. Again, by finding any security loophole or vulnerabilities, we can get to know from penetration testers what are the loopholes which are present in our applications and system which an attacker can use or utilize in future in order to perform an exploit or an attack. to identify what information can be theft and its use. So what kind of information can be easily theft by an attacker and what use it has. For example, during penetration testing of an application, an attacker found that a small amount of information is easily accessible by an attacker. Once the penetration tester has found that and he discusses it in its reports with the organizational heads, what is they found? That the information which is leaked, which can be leaked or which is easily accessible to the attacker, is something which is of low risk value. Even if an attacker sees that information, get access to that information, he or she cannot do any harm to the application or system. So those kind of information can be harmless also, which a penetration tester can get to know, like, okay, this kind of information is open in an attacker environment. So is it important to you? So sometimes it can be really, really important, or it can be a high priority information, but at the same time, it can be a low priority information and it can be ignored also. It varies from organization to organization. Next, to test and validate the security protection, identify the need of any additional protection layer. Again, even though your system seems perfect right now, and a penetration tester might suggest you and advise you to add on an extra layer of security at certain level to provide an additional layer of security to your applications and systems. Next, modification and upgradation of currently deployed security architecture. Okay, yes, this is a very important point which I missed to tell till now is any application. For example, we use Windows. Windows has upgrades. This particular operating system upgrades after a while. We have new versions of Windows. So whenever a software has an upgrade, a penetration tester checks whatever new upgrade has been added to the architecture. Is it affecting the security of the application or the system or not? So it's very, very important to continually assess your system as they improve and as they are maintained, because every change to your architecture and coding will bring about change in the security requirements as well. Next, go further. There are three types of penetration testings. One is black box penetration testing, the second one is gray box, and the third one is white box. So what happens is, in black box penetration testing, the ethical hacker or the penetration tester has no prior knowledge about the system. What does that mean? So whatever system or application they have been assigned for penetration testing, the organization or the assigning party has not informed them anything about that. They know zero about that application and system, and they are asked to perform the penetration testing, like start from the scratch, find information. We're not going to tell you anything, and then let's see what you can do through penetration testing. Second one is gray box penetration testing, where an ethical hacker or a penetration tester has a limited level of knowledge about the application or system. This limited level of knowledge can be IP address associated with the application or systems, or operating system knowledge, some kind of network information, but in a very, very limited way. In case of white box testing, which we call as white box penetration testing, a penetration tester has complete knowledge about the system and information of the target, and then he's going to attack or as a ethical attacker, or then he's going to attack as a penetration tester. Then he's going to check for the system or application when he has full knowledge. So these are the three types of penetration testing. What should be the trimming approach? In case of penetration testing, there are two very famous terms which we use. One is known as the blue team and one is known as the red team. So what does blue and red team do, and why do we have these two teams? So the question is also very good and it seems exciting also, like, okay, yeah, I've heard about it somewhere on the internet. Like, there's a blue team in penetration testing and red team, but what does that do? Who do you want to become part of? If you want to pursue a career in penetration testing and you are thinking to do that, which team would you prefer? What does blue team do? So, a red team is the one which attacks the system. So, to make myself more correct, a penetration tester has two teaming approaches. One is the red team which attacks the system, and one is the blue team which protects the system. What does that mean? So, for example, there is an application and the red team tries to log in that application by attack. For example, they are using brute force attack to log in into the system and get access. What is blue team doing at the same time? Blue team at the same time is looking at the logs of the database of the application. Is there any malicious activity or is there any malicious log, unusual log they have found? For example, the red team is trying to log in for like 20-30 times. They're using a brute force password attack approach. What does blue team found in the logs? That from the past 1 hour, there are near to 40 to 50 failed logins from different usernames and password. This is unusual. So what they would do is they would use this information to know what unusual has happened into the system and how it happened. Or in the same way, the red team by attacking the system has made the blue team had made the blue team identify the flaws. Okay, so this works like a team. One team will attack, they'll find some vulnerabilities, and the one team will identify what are these vulnerabilities, and they work as a complete group. Next. Next, we have phases of penetration testing. So penetration testing has three phases. One phase is pre-attack phase. In pre-attack phase, the penetration tester tries to gain all the information he or she can about the system or the application they are going to pen test. So that information can be related to network information, all information about the open ports, closed ports, security related information like DNS information or host information, what are the design methodology of an application or system, how they have been designed, what is their design framework. So all this preparation part, gaining information part, for example, when you prepare for a test, you actually learn, you go through all the subjects and courses. So that's how in penetration testing it is the pre-attack phase. What is the attack phase? The attack phase is exactly similar to your real life test environment in school or college. Once you have prepared for a test, now you're ready to go and perform. So once you have collected all the information in the pre-attack phase, now you're ready to attack. So in the attack phase, the penetration tester uses all the information gained about the system and application they are going to pen test, and now they use the attacking methodologies to gain access to the system, escalate the privileges once they have accessed the system server or application server. So once they have accessed the server, broken the password, now they are inside the system, how to gain access in the system. For example, and a penetration tester has gained access to a Linux server through normal remote user. Now the next step is to escalate their privileges to root level to perform bigger exploits. The third phase is validation, reporting and securing and cleaning. So the third phase is where after performing the attack, the penetration testers, they come up with some report, some validations, what kind of vulnerabilities the system or application has, what type of vulnerabilities are are highly risk are full of risk, and what kind of vulnerabilities are low at risk, what should the organization now do to protect their application or system more, what should be the approaches. So that is the post attack phase. Securing security test testing methodologies. So these are 3 to 4 methodologies which are followed by the penetration testers. The number one is Open Web Application Security Project, that is OWASP. The second one is Open Source Security Testing Methodologies Manual. Third is Information System Security Assessment Framework. Fourth is EC Council License Penetration Tester Methodologies. So these methodologies are are the kind of techniques which are used by our penetration testers, like how to go about further in their process of pen testing. Next is, what is the mind map? Now we have discussed everything. How does penetration testing overall looks like? So what is the overview of penetration testing? So we have 3 different phases which you can see: pre-attack phase, and post-attack phase. We have 3 different types for penetration testing, which is white box, black box, and gray box. There are 2 teams, blue team and red team. Then there are penetration testing methodologies that we discussed in the previous slides. Then we have overview like scoping an attack, finding weakness, detecting vulnerabilities. Then after detecting the vulnerabilities and if everything, you create a report, you inform about these vulnerabilities and perform some security measures to further protect your system. These are the references which I have taken for my pictures and everything in the slides and some kind of material. And yeah, here it is. So this was kind of a very short and I would say a brief introduction to penetrations testing, yet I covered like the whole approach and mind map, like how it works with all its types, techniques, methodologies, and why we do this, what is penetration testing. If you want more sessions on this particular topic, so reach me at on my ID, connect with me on my LinkedIn, and reach out to me through my website also. I would be happy to take more sessions on this. So this particular session was just for freshers and or anyone who wants to know about what penetration test, what is pen testing, and if they want to start a career in this area, or it's just for the freshers and starters who want to start their journey in penetration testing. So thank you for your time. I'll come up with more sessions in future. Have a good day. Bye bye.